friends of the Zero Garbage family. In this video, we are going to be learning an important lesson that could help us save the lives of our loved ones. Are you new to this channel? Then please, this is the time, so you do not forget, click on that red subscribe button in the corner and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. Join the Zero Garbage family, relax and enjoy our company. So I thought it was important to share this story involving the life of my son, so that it can serve as a lesson to other parents. You might have to tighten your belt because it is a sad story, but try not to cry because I have already done all the crying.
My belly, my head, my belly. What's wrong with me? Mommy, Daddy, help!
Friends, that is how it all started. Just like a joke. Do not go away. There's more coming. Was stomach upset, which was not out of the ordinary. It is something that I've experienced with him in the past on a number of occasions. He was throwing up also, but this as well was nothing out of the ordinary. It has happened in many occasions in the past, at bedtime, my son has complained about stomach upset and he has thrown up. But all I did was just pat him in the back, lay him on his bed, give him some water to drink, read a bedtime story for him, and he fell asleep. By the next morning, he got up, he was fine to go to school. How would I have known this time around, with the same kinds of complaint, that it was something more serious? Rushing my child to the emergency room. After the tests were done, the next thing I know, they are telling me that your child needs an immediate surgery. I'm like, surgery? I didn't know it was that bad. Can learn from my experience and know exactly how to react with a sense of emergency at little complaints from their children that appear not to be out of the ordinary. I could have assumed that it was nothing out of the ordinary because in several occasions in the past, my little boy has had the same complaints. My little boy has complained around bedtime that he was having stomach upset and he has thrown up. But all I did was give him water to drink, pat him in the back, read a bedtime story for him, and he fell asleep. By the next morning when he woke up, he was good enough to go to school. This time, on this one occasion that turned out to be something bigger, there are possibilities that I could have assumed that the boy was just going through the same situations that I have experienced in the past. I would have been tempted to keep him at home. I would have been tempted to offer him the same water that I usually do and help him to fall asleep in his bedroom while I move away to my bedroom. God forbid. Who knows what should have happened if I had made that one wrong decision that one day. Who knows? I've heard of situations where people have been discovered dead in their bedrooms in the morning. And then questions are asked, what happened? Did they have any complaints the night before? Was there anything serious? Were they sick? And they cannot find answers. Mark you, if it happened to other people, it is possible to happen to you as well. What I would like parents to know is this: whatever, however, no matter how little is the complaint from your child, take it seriously. The only reason I had to rush my son to the emergency room that particular day was because, unlike the other occasions when he would complain about stomach upset around bedtime and throw up. But the next morning he got up, he was fine to go to school. So this particular occasion was a little different from the others. Surgery? What for? And the doctors were like, we think your son has appendicitis. And you are lucky that it has not yet exploded. We need to take a very fast action to get this appendix out of there before it erupts. Do you know what it means when an appendix erupts? God forbid it doesn't happen to you. An appendix eruption, when an appendix erupts, toxic substances are released in the individual's abdomen, and cleanup of those toxins that have found their way into your abdominal system cannot be easy. It is a very intensive procedure to clean that out of your body. And if you are not careful, if you are not in the right hands, forget it. That situation can be very lethal. If I had assumed that this boy was not experiencing anything out of the ordinary, if I had taken him to his room, placed him on his bed as usual, and give him the usual water and patting and comforting and just soothe him to sleep, who knows what would have happened to him that night? The rush in the hospital to get him into the surgical room and have this procedure started immediately, God forbid, I left my son in his bedroom by himself that night. I don't know what would have happened when I went into his bedroom that morning to wake him up. God alone knows why he pushed me out of the house. Take your son to the hospital. It's time to take your son to the emergency room, and I'm thanking the Lord. I'm testifying and I'm thanking the Lord. I want you guys to know that the Lord is great. As soon as I heard that my son needed an immediate surgery, I immediately put my hands together in prayers. And after I have asked my Lord to cover us, to protect us, to watch over us during this procedure, I also picked up my phone, called members of my church and informed them, and they were remarkable. My pastor and my presiding elder immediately engaged in prayers. My presiding, after hearing the bad news, asked me, "Are you by the side of your son right now?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Then place your hands upon his head. The Lord is about to decree. The Lord is about to make the decision to provide and send the Spirit over your son, the Spirit that would guide any decisions and actions taken by the surgeons in that surgery room." He said, "Place your hands on your son's head and let us pray." We started praying. He was praying on the other side, I was praying on my side. It went on and on and on until when we finally stopped praying, I looked down on my son and I could see him shaking his head. I knew the Lord was answering my prayers right away. And even after the prayers had stopped, the long session of prayer had stopped, my presiding did not stop. Because as I put my phone down, I kept hearing beeps on my phone. And as I looked up to my phone, I saw text messages coming on from him again. And he was proclaiming new messages from the Lord. And he was telling me, "Look, the Lord is with you." I knew I was not alone at that time. I knew that the Lord was with me. I knew that the church has taken up prayers for this boy. And I knew everything would be fine. So I'm telling you guys today, trust in the Lord. Call your pastor. Call your church elders when you are going through a situation. Who knows? If I didn't call my church, if I didn't call the presiding, if I didn't speak to the pastor that evening, who knows? Who knows what the consequences would have been? God works miracle, you know. God works miracle. So all of that, the fast action of taking my son to the emergency room when it was needed, in combination with the prayers from my presiding elder and members of my church, my friends and family who were aware of this situation, everything together, everything was one bundle that reversed the situation. And to the parents, never ignore any complaint from your children, no matter how little it might be. Whether it is headache, stomach upset, light throwing up, nausea, examine the situation critically. You never can know. Never make assumptions that it was just a normal situation. Never assume that it is nothing out of the ordinary. Never assume that it's the same complaint your child had the previous day and your child was fine, or that last week your child had this same complaint and your child was fine shortly after that. Never make any assumptions, because if I had made any assumptions on this particular critical occasion, on this particular critical incident, on this particular day, it would have costed me the life of my child. Take it seriously. Take it seriously. Learn from my lesson and avoid the same thing happening to you. People might take things for granted, not until they see how others have suffered from those same situations. And soothing them off to sleep. Then I would go to my own bedroom and fall asleep. If I had done that same thing this particular night, the story would have been different. That's why I'm sharing my story. That's why I am not keeping this to myself. By sharing my experience of what my son has gone through, from one moment being fine to the next moment being hauled by a team of surgeons for a surgical procedure that I just cannot understand where it's coming from. We need to be alert around our children. We need to be more alert. Never assume that everything is fine. Never assume that a situation, a complaint from your child is not out of the ordinary. Never assume that your child's complaint is just a normal situation that has been experienced in the past. Take every situation as it presents itself and treat it as a unique case. Because if I had not done that particular day, I wouldn't be sitting here talking with you right now about my son, because I would have been in gloom. The doctors told me that if I had not brought my son to the hospital at that particular time that I did so, and the appendix had ruptured, it would have been a situation. Now, learn from my lesson and do not let this happen to you. Take a very fast action at the slightest complaint from your loved ones. Friends, did you like the video? If so, then please do not forget to click on that subscribe button, the red one in the bottom of the video as it is playing right now. Turn on the notification bell. Give the video a thumbs up. And also share the video so other people around you can begin to benefit from our educative lessons. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.